Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are working on spending money, and we're spending a lot of it. We are currently getting a bunch of foundries. There's most of those already constructed. We're nearing the end of that, but we also want to rebuild our navy, and that will be a bit of a lower priority, but definitely something that we're going to do. Of course, our navy got stack wiped by Rome. They were a bunch of jerks. Apparently there's a Seleucid revolt. It's not a very big revolt, is it? That's only 778 pops. I feel like that's not really worth pulling the trigger on a war with the Seleucid Empire. I would definitely be interested in one if this was a little bit bigger. Like, if it was basically their entire Anatolian holdings, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, it's a little too localized. So I think we're not going to bother with that. Of course, this guy is now in charge. So our legitimacy is mediocre. He died of dysentery. Okay, sure. So what is our current situation with our heir? This guy is going to succeed us. He does not have a spouse. We can't make him get one either. Well, for now, we're just going to proceed. Well, that's okay. We've had a lot of childrenless rulers in a row. It's kind of nutty. But we are going to have more rebellions. Abaskoi is going to rebel in 15 months. This guy will be up to the task. Sure. Okay, so that's going to be these guys up here that are going to be rebelling. And that's going to be in a little bit over a year. So that's really not too bad. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm interested in building additional foundries. And you can see we do have one finishing up. It's slightly off screen. That's awkward. But that's finishing up right now. We couldn't scroll down quite far enough. Very strange. But we're going to check in on our research efficiency. And that is 102.95. Okay. Now, keep in mind what we're working on right now. We've got a number more martial advances to put in here. We're going to take all of this. Now we're going to have a martial advance here in just a couple of months. That's fine. Absolutely fine. After we're done with that, our next goal is to hop into oratory advances and work our way down this way to get additional research. That's going to be a big, big deal. A big, big deal indeed. Is this one of... We could actually also get this monthly political influence if we really wanted it. For right now, I think that's not really a huge deal. But okay. A little bit of a flicker going on here as things are progressing and ticking forward. That's a little strange too, but okay. So this rebellion is going to be very soon. Here's our free innovation. Of course, this is going into learning on the job. And then recruitment standards will be after that. What is this cute event? 6 stability for 10 political influence. We'll do it. We don't actually have anything that we're trying to spend our political influence on right now. So that'll be absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever there. I do want to check in on our religious situation. Oh, that is good. Okay, our religious situation is doing exceptionally well. Culturally, we need more work. No doubt about it. But our religious situation, oh, that's so solid. That is so, so good. Just getting the religion converted helps convert culture a lot as well. So we've got 8 months on this rebellion. That's fine. The Amatunis family is currently considered scorned. Hilarious. They can do that if they want. The foundry here, 0.37 isn't amazing, but we'll still get that built. It'll also generate us some income. Basically, we're going to be building anything that generates over 0.1 research per month. That's going to be our cutoff. So that's fine. That's going to take us a while to chunk our way down that. That's for sure. 7 months. And the question is, when do we start moving out? Well, they're going to build a fort somewhere. We don't know. Well, they're not going to build the fort. They're going to instantly get the fort. The way that rebellions do. Rebellions are well known for just instantly materializing a fort out of thin air, you know. That's how that works. I don't know why it works that way, but it apparently does. Now, we could think about increasing our, or reworking our legions more specifically. Pulling the engineers out of here into a specific siege army. And actually, I kind of want to try that. And this war might be a good one to do that in. So we would then create a new unit, and we would split off the siege regiments. So we'd split all of the engineers. Those guys are going to head over here. We're going to do the same thing with these engineers. Those guys are also going to head over here. Now, we do have some colonizable territory over here. We can probably only do one of these, is my guess. Yeah. Okay. But even so, getting a colonization out here is very good. So that's great. What? This is the opposite of the way I wanted this to go. Okay. We're going to swap those around. It's the opposite here, too. Wow, I'm so bad at this. Okay. Come on down here. You can go back to where you were. Excellent. Now, I do think, assuming that this works... Oh, we lost a governor over here. We are going to need to put one in. That will do just fine. So assuming that we can siege these without anything else other than siege engineers, then we want to increase this, for sure. Now, having one supply train to boost up our food storage is good. I think that having additional supply train is probably not super useful. But what we could definitely do is bump these up to 10 and 10. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to put in 2 cohorts of archers and 2 cohorts of heavy infantry. Boom. And then we're going to do the same thing. I did that incorrectly. We're going to select this legion here. 2 units of archers, 2 units of heavy infantry. Boom. Okay. There we go. So they have a weight of 40, and they have a weight of 40. Not bad. 40 weight is not horrible. Our Chancellor died in a freak accident. Okay. This guy will get the job. He is the most qualified. The Mauryan Civil War has ended. That's cool. Okay, so we are set up in Bottleneck right now, and we're at 91% effectiveness there. Now, we're not good against skirmishing or cavalry skirmish, but we're better against shock and hit and run. Can we see what the other army is set up as? That's a good question. And one that I want to find out also in this rebellion. So these guys are going to move up here. These guys are going to start moving up. Now, they are going to take attrition, but this rebellion will happen in a month and a half here. So they're only going to lose a little bit of food here. The supply train should keep them going for a good amount of time. So they'll lose a little food here. And they didn't. Ah, they gained 10.16 food. Got it. Interesting. The Amatunid army has standed down. That's a weird way to conjugate that, but okay. I guess we're going with standed. I have no idea why. Here's the rebellion. Okay, so the fort is here. We're going to immediately move these guys in and see how they do. Now, they have no leadership, and we're going to use these guys to defend them. They are not going to participate in the siege. Their goal is, in fact, to take on these lads. Yeah, we don't want them to move in here. So we're going to use the second army. They're going to come up over here. Oh, you're actually going up into the pass. Awkward. Okay, well, we'll chase them down. And we'll head in with our siege force. Do we require additional unit types to siege? It looks like the answer is no. We are getting +5 roll from our engineer cohorts. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. There's no infantry, so we can't assault, but that's fine. We don't want to assault. So he's on force march. An interesting choice, to be sure. We could go on force march ourselves, I believe, at this point. Yes. But I'm not interested in doing that. I'm just interested in making sure that he doesn't actually do anything. Now, he's no longer force-marched. Presumably because he's far enough away at this point. He's force-marching again. Is he planning to take this road around like this? He's not going to get to our siege force in time, if that's his plan. Siege is already over. This works amazingly well, so I'm very pleased with this. We're going to be at full war score here in just a moment. We can actually call down Zoroaster as well. Up to 5 pops will convert as well. That is, honestly, the 5 pops converting is so much more valuable than the 12%. But the 12% is still good. Don't get me wrong. So we're going to take this location, of course. And I think we don't have any AE right now, but I'd rather not lose the culture happiness. So that'll do. We're going to have these guys park over here. And these guys, they are going to park back in their port. Okay, so what level port is this? That's a tier 1 and a tier 1. Okay. This is currently maxed out. We could actually bump this up, but the province is disloyal, so we will have to wait on that. Okay, sounds good. Because I'm thinking that we're probably going to want another smaller fleet for these guys. Now, do we want them to have a supply train as well? Carrying extra food, that would essentially double their food capacity. Carrying extra food into sieges where we're planning to sit in hostile territory for a long time might not be a terrible idea. So let's give them a single supply train. Oh, we are maxed. Never mind. Once we're no longer maxed, we'll give them a single supply train. Okay. So that's fine. We have another rebellion in like 5 years. So that's a long time away. So we'll go ahead and build ourselves another foundry in Gyar. Wonderful. Okay. These guys will make their way back eventually. Actually, I'm going to tell them to come over here. Actually, I'm going to use these guys because they have the engineers. Okay, the Seleucid Civil War is already over. That's why I didn't really want to take advantage of this. They got that crushed very, very quickly. Without these guys having engineers, we should not have them building roads. We're going to have these guys build roads instead, and they're going to build a road like that. That's all we need. Just this little bit. Connect that on up. Beautiful. So overall, our roads are acceptable. They're not perfect, but I would definitely consider this acceptable. Sequania has not linked up over here yet. Our go signal for attacking Sequania is probably when they close this gap. That could be a little bit yet, for sure. I mean, you've seen the speed that we're colonizing at. It's not fast. It's not fast at all. We do need another citizen over here to be able to colonize out this way. And, I mean, we're going to have a slave growing eventually. That's a good amount of happiness, actually. On with the celebrations. Do it. So yeah, this is growing eventually. It will be done. This doesn't actually say when it's going to be done. That's weird to me. But okay. I guess it doesn't say. Sure. So there's that road constructed. We're going to take them off of road build, and we're just going to park them right down over here. Cool. We're also going to build a foundry, of course, and that will go in Talish. Beautiful. How's our tech looking? 102%. Okay, so we need 2 more not religious advances. We need 2 more regular advances, any advances, to finish off our martial advances over here. So that's great. Recruitment standards into Fustuarium. And we may eventually want to grab some of this, but I like to pretend that navies don't exist, so we're just going to continue to pretend that navies don't exist. In the religious tree, is there anything that we're super interested in? We've largely already grabbed what we're interested in over here, which is actually the national population growth, as well as various happiness buffs. There's going to be more happiness buffs down this way, but I do want to check. That's a national population growth. Okay, So encouragement of migration is a good thing to go for. That's only 4 away. Is there anything else down here that we're super interested in? That's maximum research efficiency. We're not too concerned about that right now. Global monthly food modifier. National manpower is kind of whatever. Yeah, we're not too interested in that right now. There's a lot of manpower growth down here. Morale of armies plus 5% is pretty good. There's a whole lot of manpower over here. Honestly, I feel like we don't need this pop conversion speed. Okay, that's wild. That is absolutely wild. Minus 90% pop conversion speed? Cool. We're not going to go for that anytime soon. Yeah, it looks like there's really only encouragement of migration that I'm super interested in right now. Working our way down this way and getting into some of this territory over here might not be awful, but I think that would be a not now sort of situation. The question is, do we go for this national population growth before or after we end up going for the scientific patronage and sponsored research? That's a lot longer away, but that will increase our speed of researching. That's a good question. That is absolutely a good question. And I'm just checking over this way to see if there's anything particularly good down this way. Pop assimilation speed is pretty good. But honestly, we're doing okay on both assimilation and conversion, I feel like. So I think a lot of this is not super necessary. And this is like cash increases. We're doing fine on cash too. So yeah, I think that we want to go after either that population growth or we want to go after the research efficiency. And the question is which first? They're both very good to get early on. I think because our research efficiency is already over 100%, we might go for the pop growth. That would be a fairly quick grab. Because, of course, we would need to go into religious and just work our way down to here. So we've already got Libertini available. So we would take Libertini, state burials, and, I mean, we would get national slave happiness of 4%. That's not bad. Monthly ruler popularity gain. Oh, hello! I didn't expect that we'd die already. We died of severe inflammation at 73. Okay, so this guy is now in charge. He is actually not ancient. He's 42. And there's a succession crisis. Okay. So Mazez Orantid is going to gain up to 29 loyal veterans. That's this gentleman. And we're going to lose 20 stability. That's a lot. We're at 32.57. Okay, so we need to perform a divine sacrifice. I would love to perform a second one. We can't afford it at this moment. We need to do Marshall, and we'll put in Mazez. He's the guy who's angry. No, this is a different Mazez. Okay, never mind. We do need a marriage here, and we kind of want to sort by age at this moment. The youngest available is 31. That is probably fairly acceptable. She's suspicious, unnoticeable. Okay. Yeah, that's acceptable. Cool. So we'll get that going. And it looks like we don't have a brewing civil war yet. This guy was brutally murdered in his home. Okay. Nothing to see here. Cool. So we need a new steward. And it'll be Orontes here. Only skill 5, but he's the best that we've got. Very unfortunate. Okay, let's build ourselves a foundry here. I believe we've got some issues with our technology. Yeah, that's because of our stability. We need to bring up our population happiness. So that's definitely a thing that we need to do. Monthly popularity for both of them. Okay. Sure. That's all fine. And then the real question is, When is this rebellion going to happen? 27 months is the answer. That's a while yet. So we don't need to be too worried about that. When are we going to get this civic advance? Well, at our current stability level... Pretender placated, huh? Oh, okay. He's happy. At our current stability level, it's going to be another 2.5 years. Like, this research efficiency drop is actually rough for us. No doubt about it. Can we replace this guy with somebody who's better? Nope. No, we can't. Okay. What about this guy? No. Okay. Sounds good. So, I mean, we're definitely going to have to go down this way. And then if we keep going down this way, yeah, there's just nothing really after that we're super, super interested in. Integrated culture happiness is good. Don't get me wrong. But it's not really of a super high priority right now. So that's fine. The Seleucid Empire is just kind of chilling at this point, as is the Western Roman dictatorship. Carthage has expanded in Iberia quite a lot. That is, of course, what Carthage wants to do. And Egypt has expanded down to get themselves iron. Good for them. Egypt starts the game with a pretty major iron issue if we go into the trade goods map mode. These used to be colored. Okay, I guess they aren't anymore. But Egypt has to go all the way down over here and over here to get their hands on iron. They don't start with that. So that's something that they've been working on doing. Good for them. We are, of course, progressing nicely. We're pushing up into this territory over here. Sequania is definitely going to be our next target. 23 months until Tanesa. Okay. That's completely fine. Let's go ahead and build another foundry. 0.96. Ooh, at 35 stability, that is nice. That is really nice. Okay. We like that a lot. We like that a whole lot. The Mauryan Civil War has ended. Okay. I mean, I didn't even know there was a Mauryan Civil War. But, sure, it has ended. So that's fine. Yeah, at this point, we're basically just building foundries. That's what this boils down to. Building foundries and planning our tech path. Now, we are going to have a religious advance in November of 626, as we will a civic advance at the same time. So that's nice. As our stability improves, it will continue to get better. This will return back up around 30%. Approximately. And then our martial advance is going to be in 632, and our oratory in 630, so that'll be a little while after that. Okay, cool. This person died of severe inflammation. Good for her. That's excellent. Absolutely excellent. I don't suppose we can build a farming settlement. Well, we don't have cash right now, but we'll need to wait for this month tick. No, okay. Just wanted to double check that. We did get a new settlement up here. Oh, and I wanted to check in on this fort. Let's see, we're Zoroastrian there. We should definitely swap this over to cultural assimilation. We should get rid of this fort. There we go. And this fort here also shouldn't exist. We'll go ahead and do that. Cool. Let's check in quick on our administration, our provinces, and we want to sort by percentage of integrated pops. So locations like this should move over into cultural assimilation. They are going to rebel, so I'm not going to move them immediately. Yeah, there's a lot of this that needs to happen. We need to do a lot of cultural assimilation. But the amount of religious assimilation that has happened does, in fact, mean... What is this? They're Chaldic still. Okay. The amount of assimilation that has happened does mean that we're going to have a much easier time assimilating them culturally. So that is great. We need to work on these provinces a bit before we expand. We can continue to expand via colonization for a little bit. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to build more forges. Speaking of which, I keep calling them forges. They are foundries. We're going to keep building more foundries. Fantastic. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.